Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. Sorry I haven't uploaded in the past couple days. I've been kind of busy just with some real life shit. Got other jobs and stuff like that going on. But I wanted to talk about this Shaedon Sharpe post-game interview that I just watched because I'm gonna be honest, it's not good. There's not a lot of good things to come out of it. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say if Shaedon Sharpe is telling GMs and head coaches what he told the Pacers media, like the press for the Pacers, after his workout, he's not even going to go in the top 10. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, I'm going to make a bold statement here and say Shaedon Sharpe doesn't go in the top 10. Or if he does, he'll be the 10th pick in the top 10. And the reason I say that is because I have been following Shaedon Sharpe very closely because I've been trying to get a feel for why he sat out at Kentucky. How has he been playing at Kentucky? I've been trying to see if he would drop some knowledge on that experience at Kentucky. And sure enough, he did. But the thing is, in that Pacers post-workout interview, I feel like you really had to pay attention to his answers in order to understand what he was saying. Now, if you guys want to check that video out, it will be linked down below in the video description. But I will give you guys my opinion on it and what I think. So there are three topics or three questions that are super concerning to me. The first one was, and this is, I guess I'll go in the order of most concerning to least concerning, okay? The most concerning one was why he sat out. Okay, the Pacers media asked him about 2 or 3 times why he sat out at Kentucky, and I shit you not, this kid's answer was to get ready for next season. So he sat out an entire season to get ready for the following season. And it was pretty obvious that the Pacers media was not buying that answer because later in the interview, they asked him it a second and in ways a third time. Like, he answered the question a second time, and then the follow-up question was like, okay, yeah, but why? Like, why did you sit out? And he refused to answer the question. His answer to why he sat out was that he was getting ready for the following season. Now, if he's going into meetings with GMs and head coaches and telling them that he sat out an entire season at Kentucky to get ready for the following season, I'm sorry, they're not buying that answer. If the Pacers media group is not buying that fucking answer, I promise you the GM and the head coach aren't. Okay, so immediately, I think the Pacers are not taking Shaedon Sharpe. He doesn't seem like he wants to be there. From what I understand, most of his interviews have been very nonchalant with kind of dog shit answers. I mean, even with the Spurs, right? He worked out for the Spurs. This kid has worked out for 9 fucking NBA teams, and 2 of them, the post-workout interview process has been a fucking disaster, and it's been for the Pacers and the Spurs. I highly recommend watching Clan the Spurs fans video about the post-game interview or post-workout interview with the Spurs. They had a Spurs reporter sit down with Shaedon Sharpe, and the answers he gave to some of the questions were super fucking concerning. Like, one of the answers he gave when he was asked, like, is there anybody on the Spurs that you look forward to playing with? He was like, no. Like, he dead ass doesn't even want to go to the Spurs, so the Spurs are not drafting him. And then on top of it, like the Pacers, we move into their stuff. He's asked about Kentucky, and he says, I sat out to get ready for the following season. Then, the next question that's super concerning is they ask him, like, how was he faring in 5-on-5 drills? Like, they asked him, when was the last time you played 5-on-5? And it was literally a fucking year ago. I mean, these rumors that we've been hearing about Shaedon Sharpe being the next Kobe Bryant are complete and utter bullshit. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's complete and utter bullshit. Because he answers this question and says, oh, well, I was brought in towards the end of March Madness last year, so I didn't really get to play a lot. And, so basically he hasn't played a full 5-on-5 game, potentially since last year's March Madness. So that's super fucking concerning. Then on top of it, after that, okay, he was asked about how he stacked up against the competition at Kentucky. And if I'm correct, I'm not looking at it right now, but his direct quote was, yes, I felt like I was one of the best players on the team, but, everybody just was, came in and was trying to compete. So what I get by this, and what he should have fucking said, was, yes, I was the best player on the team, and left it at that. Okay? That wouldn't have hurt his draft stock. But when you say shit like, yeah, I was the best player on the team, but, okay, yeah, and then you throw in some bullshit after, oh, everybody was trying to compete, we were all brought in to compete, means like, yeah, he thought he was one of the best players on that team, but realistically he wasn't. Okay? You gotta pay attention to the shit that these players say very closely. And I just think to myself, all this time I've been led to believe that Shaedon Sharpe is like the next fucking Kobe Bryant, or, Zach LaVine or some shit like that. And I'm getting J.R. Smith, Jason Richardson. Okay, that's what I'm getting out of him. I think he'll be an okay NBA player, but these rumors that he's a superstar talent and that he'll be the next fucking Kobe Bryant or some shit, like he's gonna backpack a team to the playoffs, I just don't see it happening. Maybe if he goes to like the correct organization, if he goes to an OKC, if he goes to a team like Miami or some shit like that, yeah, maybe it'll happen. But his answers come off very nonchalant. It seems like he doesn't really care. I mean, he mentions in the interview that he has been playing basketball his entire life. He's been playing since he was, 4 years old? Part of me believes he doesn't even have a passion for basketball, because I think to myself, if you were capable of playing and you really cared about playing, he would have played regardless of what the fucking situation was at Kentucky last year. That's the way I view it. Like, people compare him to Kobe Bryant, but Kobe Bryant would have fucking played. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Kobe Bryant cared enough about winning that he would have fucking played, and Shaedon Sharpe didn't. He was fully healthy, he was able to play, and instead of giving them an answer that's believable about why he didn't play, he says, I was preparing for next season. I mean, you could have said, oh, my mental health wasn't right, my physical health wasn't right, I had a family issue going on. That would be way more believable and way more understandable. But to come out and give us some vague, nonchalant shit that's like, oh yeah, I sat out because I was getting ready for next season. Like, who the fuck do you know is a professional at anything and says, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna get better at my craft or whatever it is that I do by simply not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And I think to myself, if these are the answers he's giving the media, if these are the answers he's going into GMs and head coaches with, like into these meetings, these are the answers he's giving them, this kid's gonna fall like a fucking rock in the draft, okay? Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'll be a little shocked if he goes in the top 10. Like, he might go at the 10th pick, but if these are the answers he's giving NBA GMs, he'll go in the lottery, but, like, he might go outside the top 10. And I know that's, like, an unpopular opinion. Everybody loves Shaedon Sharpe for whatever fucking reason, but I don't see it. The dude is skeptical on defense. I mean, he came in and in this interview, when asked about defense, he's like, yeah, I feel like a guy who could switch 1 through 5. And then he's got his camp coming out here and saying, I'm going to be one of the greatest basketball players ever. Like, sorry, but like, if it really feels like his camp and Shaedon Sharpe himself is really trying to like juice his draft stock when we've seen little to nothing from him. Okay? All we have to go by are a bunch of fucking highlights on YouTube. And when it comes to handling the ball, he's not the greatest player. When it comes to defense, he's not a 1 through 5 switch defender. He's just not. And I just think to myself, man, whoever takes Shaedon Sharpe is taking a serious gamble. And it's going to have to be a team that doesn't really need him immediately, unfortunately. You know, it's like, it's one of those things where I hear about how good a player is, and then once I look into it and I get under the covers of it, I'm like, he's not the player that people make him out to be. And you know what? I don't care if people don't like that opinion. I'm not here to please people. I understand that's going to come off as like, you know, oh, you're a Shaedon Sharpe hater, you're this, you're that. And yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm a Shaedon Sharpe hater. I'm completely a Shaedon Sharpe hater because I find it hard to fucking believe that a guy that we know little to nothing about, okay, who excelled at the high school level, is gonna come into the NBA and just absolutely fucking dominate people who've been playing for a year and a half longer than he has. Okay, yeah, I could see him staying in condition and, you know, stuff like that. I can see him staying in shape, but And when I hear these answers to these questions, I think to myself, okay, so he hasn't even really practiced that much. He's done 1v1s and 3v3s, but when it comes to 5v5s, it sounds like he hasn't done much of fucking anything. So, I just, you know what, man? People can think what they want. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I'm telling you right now, do not be shocked. Do not be surprised. Do not be shocked if you see Shaedon Sharpe fall out of the top 10. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Don't be shocked if you start seeing guys like, what's his name, Osume Dieng taken ahead of him. Don't be surprised if you see guys like Jeremy Schoen taken ahead of him. Okay, don't be fucking surprised if you see Mark Williams taken ahead of him. Do not be surprised if this kid just barely makes the lottery, because like, I think to myself, if these are the answers he's really giving people, it's a long road ahead for Shaedon Sharpe. Like, a team has really got to have an expendable draft pick to take Shaedon Sharpe. And honestly, he wants to go to OKC. OKC is the team that should take a shot on him. But if you're the Pacers, okay, if you're the Detroit Pistons, if you're the Sacramento Kings, if you're any team in the top 3, you're not touching this guy with a 10-foot pole. I'm sorry, you're just not. Okay, I don't think Houston's going to go near him. OKC, I don't think is going to take Chet Holmgren, or I don't think they're going to take Shaedon Sharpe over Chet Holmgren. I just don't. I don't think Orlando's going to take Shaedon Sharpe over Jabari Smith. I just don't see it happening. And I know there's a lot of rumors out there that people think Shaedon's going to go in the top 7. I'll be honest, I would not be surprised if he drops out of the top 10. And who knows? You know, he could fall even farther in the draft, but it's just, I feel like the answers we've been getting from him in these press conferences, especially the Spurs, man. Go look at the Spurs, and I highly recommend Clan the Spurs fans video on Shaedon Sharpe, his most recent one, because it does not look good for this kid. And the answers he's giving in press conferences are just hurting his draft stock. I mean, he's coming out and saying shit that, like, really doesn't make any sense sometimes. Like, yeah, I want to come in and switch 1 through 5. Okay, so I'm supposed to expect that Shaedon Sharpe is going to defend Joel Embiid. He's gonna defend fucking Nikola Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna defend these guys. He's not gonna stop them. He's gonna stop Kevin Durant. Okay, like, he's not Draymond Green. And I just think to myself, like, or Kawhi Leonard or somebody like that. He is not one of those players. And the idea that, I get it, they're hyping him up. I really feel like the whole purpose of him even entering the draft is because he's not passionate about basketball. He's trying to get into the league, spend maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years in the league, maybe get his giant rookie extension, and then bail the fuck out. Once he makes his money, I feel like he's going to retire. Maybe he'll just fall off a fucking cliff and stop trying. I just feel like this kid lacks motivation. I am not convinced, and I'm sorry if you don't like that. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.